Hello, welcome to VNews Podcast Daily. I'm following today's highlights.
Cabinet convenes regular meeting. Second conference for overseas Vietnamese opens in Ho Chi Minh City. New Delhi hosts Vietnam-India Defense Dialogue.
The government's monthly meeting opened in Hanoi on September 27th. Prime Minister Nguyen Thanh Dũng chaired the event.
At the meeting, cabinet members agreed that socio-economic performance continued advancing positively in September and the past 9 months. Monetary and credit policies have been executed in a tight but flexible manner in harmony with the financial policy, contributing to reining in inflation and stabilizing the macroeconomy. In the past 9 months, exports expanded 18.9% and imports also broadened 6.6% compared with the same period last year, making a trade surplus of 0.04%. GDP grew quarterly from 4% in the first quarter to an estimated 5.35% in the third quarter. In the past 9 months, GDP was estimated to grow at 4.73%. Addressing the meeting, Prime Minister Dũng pointed to what have yet been achieved as said, like economic growth slowing, the macroeconomy yet being firm and inventories remaining large. He reminded his juniors about unpredictable and complex developments in the global economy, as well as implicit difficulties facing the national economy. He asked ministries to further improve their forecasting capacity, along with continuing to take moves to contain inflation below a double-digit figure and maintain overspending rate at 4.8%. With uniform drastic measures, we have to accomplish our goal of containing inflation and maintaining macroeconomic stability for this year and the following years for the country's sustainable development.
The second conference for overseas Vietnamese opened in Ho Chi Minh City on September 27th. Lê Ông Anh, Politburo member and standing member of the party Central Committee, Secretariat, and Vice State President Nguyễn Thị Doan attended the event.
The conference, themed Vision to 2020, the Overseas Vietnamese Community's Integration and Development with the Nation, is organized by the State Committee for Overseas Vietnamese Affairs under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Following the opening ceremony, 4 symposiums took place covering topics on integration and economic development, cultural identity and national traditions, overseas Vietnamese academics with industrialization and modernization, and overseas entrepreneurs working for the future of communities and country. During the 4-day conference, the delegates went on exchanges at several economic and cultural establishments in Ho Chi Minh City and southeastern provinces. There are more than 4.5 million Vietnamese living in over 100 countries and territories worldwide. About 500,000 Vietnamese overseas return home each year, including many experts, intellectuals, and business people. In Vietnam, there are more than 3,500 overseas Vietnamese invested projects with a total registered investment of around $8.4 billion.
The 7th Vietnam-India Strategic Defense Dialogue took place in New Delhi on September 26th. Vietnamese Deputy Defense Minister Nguyễn Chí Vịnh and Indian Defense Secretary Shashi Kant Sharma co-chaired the event.
The two sides exchanged views on the current situation of global and regional security, the regional security structures, as well as bilateral defense ties. They agreed to strengthen the cooperation between the two ministries within the framework of the Vietnam-India strategic partnership in the time to come. The same day, Vinh was received by Indian Defense Minister Antony and National Security Advisor Siv Sankar Menon. At the reception, the Vietnamese Deputy Minister expressed his belief that the two ministries' cooperation in the fields of defense industry, military technology, officers training, and experience sharing will be further reinforced. Both sides said they are determined to realize the agreements reached by the two ministries, contributing to strengthening bilateral relations.
Vietnam and Malaysia will strengthen bilateral cooperation in developing the cooperative movement on an equal and mutually beneficial basis.
To this effect, a memorandum of arrangement was signed by representatives from the Vietnamese Ministry of Planning and Investment and the Ministry of Domestic Trade, Cooperatives and Consumerism of Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur on September 26th. Under the memorandum of arrangement, the two sides will boost trade between their cooperatives through import-export activities or joint ventures, as well as expand markets for cooperatives' products and services. They will set up a joint working group to realize the memorandum of arrangement. Minister of Domestic Trade, Cooperatives and Consumerism of Malaysia, Ismail Sabri Yaakob, said cooperatives are one of the important sectors which greatly contribute to the economic development of countries, including Malaysia and Vietnam. Deputy Minister of Planning and Investment Dang Huy Dong said he believes the memorandum of arrangement will play an important role in development of the cooperative movement in each country. Vietnam now has about 19,500 agricultural and non-agricultural cooperatives.
Sơn La hydropower plant, the country's largest of its kind, officially launched its last turbine on the afternoon of September 26th.
The plant, located in the mountainous province of Sơn La, put its first turbine into operation in December 2010 and the fifth one in April this year. To date, its 5 turbines have generated over 10 billion kilowatt-hours of electricity for the national grid. Construction of the $1.8 billion power plant began in December 2005. When fully operational, the 2,400 megawatt plant will be able to supply 10.2 billion kilowatt-hours of electricity a year. The inauguration of the work is expected to be held in December this year.
Vietnamese entrepreneurs, stock investors and financial experts from the United Kingdom took part in a seminar in Ho Chi Minh City on September 26th to share experience in penetrating the international capital market via the London Stock Exchange.
Alderman David Wooten, Lord Mayor of the City of London, said his side is ready to provide support in human resources training, legal policies, so that Vietnamese businesses will be able to join the global financial hub in the UK. Vice Chairwoman of the Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee, Nguyễn Thị Hồng, said the city is building a new urban area of Thủ Thiêm into an international financial hub. Therefore, it wants to learn experience from the City of London, a global financial hub in the UK, in this field. At present, there are only some Vietnamese firms mobilizing capital in foreign stock exchanges. Notably, Hoàng Anh Gia Lai Joint Stock Company became the first Vietnamese company to list and offer its global depository receipts to be traded on the London Stock Exchange in March 2011.
The Vietnam Motor Show officially kicked off at the Giang Võ Exhibition Center in Hanoi on September 26th. Minister of Transport Đinh La Thang attended the event.
The show is held annually in Vietnam. This year's event is the biggest ever, which sees the participation of many popular automobile makers in the world, including Ford, Honda, Mercedes, Mitsubishi, Suzuki, and Toyota. Additionally, imported brands like BMW, Audi, Porsche, Volkswagen, Renault, and Land Rover are on display. The event creates a venue for managers, policymakers, manufacturers, and experts operating in the field to share information, seek investment opportunities, and discuss measures to promote development of the supporting industry. At the show, manufacturers introduce their promotional programs with the aim of rousing the auto market from its present quiet situation. The event will last until September 30th.
A draft master plan for the resort city of Dalat in the Central Highlands province of Lamdong until 2030 was discussed at a seminar in Paris on September 26.
Apart from being a favorite tourist destination blessed with mild climate and a unique ecological system for more than a century, Dalat has also emerged as a political, economic and cultural center of Lamdong province. It is also slated to become a high-tech research and training center for the country's agricultural sector. Therefore, the Vietnamese government wants a plan that balances development and the preservation of Dalat's own characteristics. Thierry, director of France Artisan Urban Planning and Landscaping Company, said the French experts have paid special attention to the poetic feature of the Central Highlands city. Dalat's advantages in having fertile soil, which is favorable for agricultural and tourism development. However, it still lacks a link-up infrastructure and public transport system, he said. The plan will be submitted to the government for approval. A ceremony to announce the master plan is slated for later this year to mark the 120th year of the city's establishment and development.
Have we come to the end of the news today? Goodbye for now and see you next time.